how we going? Welcome to the brewery, brew day, and I'm just about to mash in today's brew. What I'm doing is a New Zealand Pilsner slash lager. So nice, simple, reasonably simple lager mash with some New Zealand hops, going a little bit new worldy. And I know I haven't necessarily been the biggest fan of the New World style, but let's throw Little John's effort at it. So, got my water in here. I'm doing a full batch, so I'm going to split this. I'm just not exactly sure of how I'm splitting it just at the moment. But that's what'll be happening. So I've got 22 litres of water. That's my mash water. Actually, sorry, 20 litres. Got an additional 12 litres reserved for my sparge. I got it all up to mash temp, 67 degrees. Actual mash is 64, so I've got to adjust that quickly. Okay, set that back to 64. I had 67 to allow for a temp drop. I've treated the water. All the details will be in the recipe link. But top of my head, 4.3 kilos of Pilsner malt. I'm using Joe White because that's what I've got here. I haven't got any, well, I've got a little bit of Gladfield Pilsner, but not enough to do the job. So where we are, 340 grams of biscuit malt and 250 grams of toffee malt. So I'm just looking to get a little bit of different sort of malt flavour into the brew. As I said, something a bit non-traditional. You know, not using your standard Munich or Cara or whatnot to get that flavour. I want to use that biscuit and the toffee, just get a little bit of extra interest in there. And while I'm going along on the side, and I'm not going to really document that too much on this video, is I'm taking some pretty serious notice and records of my pH along the way. This comes from well, I'll sit down in a minute and have a chat about that at the table. It's a bit easier. So, put this on. Gonna let it sit for 10 minutes and put the resoak happening. Rightio, mash is on. I want to just have a bit of a look through my pH numbers today. After being out Buller Creek recently with Mike brewing our red IPA, we had a few chats during the day about pH and, you know, where they're targeting numbers, where and when and why. So I've never really looked that closely. I've only sort of done it just here and there, just to see when ballparking what Brewfather tells me I'm going to. So today I'm going to take a lot more notice. So I might just chat a little bit as we go through on different things with that. Now, got me Milwaukee pH meter. Got just a glass of water. This is more just plain tap water. And this is more just me, you know, me cleaning base for me probes. But checking where I am. Telling me that pH is around 7.5, which is, you know, what we expect. Tap water is generally, you know, 7 to 8 normally. Okay, so I've got first sample, which is taken straight just as I've mashed in. I did mean to get a reading on just on the straight mash water after the minerals have been added, but I thought I missed it. So, but and this is straight off the mash. As soon as it's gone in, it's been mashing for like 4 minutes, and it's given me about 5.7. Now that's going to drop as the grain works in. My target, I believe, is, according to brew father, going off the numbers, is 5.36. So I'll get another sample at that 10-minute mark when I put the recirc on, and I will check that. This is slowly coming down as this sits and whatnot. So I'll take those numbers. Okay, so I'll leave that now. Now the reason I'm looking for this, yeah, and it's a pretty simple, but you're looking for a mash between 5.2 and 5.4, because that's the best place to get maximum conversion, you know, the best wort, you know, good conversion, you know, good fermentability, you know, clean, stable proteins and all the rest of it. So I'll check that again shortly once we've got this first 10 minutes out of the way. Alright, 10 minutes in, so I'll get the pump going. Recirc happening. That's plenty. I'll grab a sample for our pH. And we'll leave this do its thing now for another half an hour. Righto. Now this sample from early in the mash has settled at about 5.56, so it's actually sitting at 0.2 above what Brewfarb was telling me, a little bit higher than I'd like. 5.6 is sort of upper range of where you'd really want to be, and I need to get a reading at the end of the mash to see whether it's come down a bit more during the mash itself. The main thing taken from that is I need to adjust my salts and my lactic in my recipes to get it down that little bit lower to start with. So that's yeah, like I said, that was the main thing I was looking for, trying to work out exactly where I am sitting. So I will get another reading at the end of the boil, sorry, at the end of the mash, because at this point the next reading I want is I want to get a reading pre-boil, so we'll look at that. But before that happens, you know, we've now raised the mash temperature to 72. We're going through the final step. We're probably about 15 minutes off sparge, 18 minutes off sparge. So that's all good. Got my hops weighed out here. Probably jumping the gun a bit, but I'm going to jump from here to the end of into the boil pretty quickly. 9 grams of Dr. Rudy for bittering, that's going to go in at 40 minutes. 9 grams of Nectaron, which will go in 10 minutes. and 10 grams of Nelson Sauvin that will go into a whirlpool at 90 degrees for 20 minutes. That's the hops. That's all she's going to be. I'm not going to dry hop this at all. Just going to run with that. So yeah, that's it. So we'll come back. We'll have a look at the sparge happening, and then look at that. Look at that pre-boil number. Alright. Mash is done. Time to sparge this bad boy. Alright, so we've done 40 minutes at 64, and then we raise it to 72 for 30 minutes. I've just taken a refract reading until you get 1062. I'm looking for a 10, I think it was 1045 pre-boil, so I don't know if it's exactly on the mark, but going reasonably slow. Sparge water. Should have thrown the top screen on. I'm going to do that. Now this is the beauty of the Pro Malt pipe, not having the research tube through the middle. You can just dump stuff in. But yeah, top screen certainly going to stop me from stirring the bed up. And that's holding nicely out of the drain. But I've noticed that on the last batch as well, which was the first batch with the Pro screen. The sparge is so much better. It actually keeps the wort on the grain bed, which means you can sparge more effectively. It takes a bit longer, and you can actually build up a nice level of cleaner, fresh water to actually rinse through those drains. So, all good. So I finished that. I've got the elements cranked up to bring this to a boil. When the sparge is done, I'll get a sample and we'll get so I can get a pH and a pre-boil gravity reading, and we'll talk about that soon. The beer going out.
Oh yeah.
So if I can. Keeping the hot break under control. Dr. Rudy went in at 40 minutes, 15 minutes to go, yeast, nutrient, well flock. Don't drop the container in there. 10 minutes to go, 9 grams of nectar on. Right, end of the boil, heat off, and let this cool down to 90 degrees for our whirlpool. Right, So we've cooled to 90 degrees, whirlpool on, and we got 10 grams of a hop whose name I can't remember. Nelson Sauvin, the one I hate. Don't do bad things in my beer, please. Be nice to me. Righto, whirlpool's done. I've swapped over to the recirc arm and just letting that run. I'm going to cool down with this. It's bloody wet and horrible outside. I'm not fucking around with the hose. So, just going to air cool this. I'm going to throw the barbie on in a minute. While I cook the barbie, eat dinner, this will cool down. At the moment, it seems we're about 7 to 10 points over target gravity, so it might be a little bit stronger than we intended, but we'll see. I'll get a final gravity and catch it up with final numbers very soon. Righto folks, we've jumped from whirlpool and cooling to 3 days later. Had the brother-in-law here and the niece, and we're doing whack of stuff, and I just didn't get any more video done. So this fella cooled overnight. I ran cooled it for about 3 hours, 4 hours with the recirc. Get it below isomerization temp, so those hops aren't going to make any more impact than I'm allowed for. They may have crept up at 1.5 IBU with just a little bit longer time up, but not much, and it's certainly not going to matter in the end. So let it sat, cooled overnight. I pitched next afternoon. I split 8 litres into my little 10 litre king keg fermenter, and I pitched 1 pack of diamond lager yeast onto that. So 11 grams in 8 litres, so it's a bit lower than what I normally would pitch, but there it is. This fella is actually just out of date, so be interesting to see how it does perform, but it's kicked off, you know, reasonably well. It doesn't seem to be having any problems. Second fermenter, it's got 14 litres. It's been pitched with W3470 and 23 grams on the 14 litres, so it's closer to the 2 grams a litre, and that's really the main one I want to be sort of looking at. The diamond was more just about doing the little John thing and making sure we had a split brew, and let's have some sort of comparison. And at this point I've not done a comparison with the diamond next to the W34, so finally that's going to happen. They're in the fridge. They're going to ferment for 5 days at 11 degrees. I will then raise it to 14 for 5 days, then 17 for a couple of days, finish off at 21, and then cold crash. So it's going to get pretty much 3-week ferment. So we're looking probably 6 weeks from now before I'm looking at getting a first taster on this. So don't hold your breath on it, but it will come. So it's probably going to be realistically end of winter, late August, maybe it might even slip into spring in September, but we'll see. We will see. But that's her. I finished up 2 points over gravity, fraction under on the volume, so slight adjustment we would have got there. That was more just a measurement than anything else. I just didn't top up enough as I was going, so that's all good. So I'm happy, yeah, from that point happy. The brew day went well, and I will comment, second brew day with the Pro screen in the RoboBrew / Brewzilla, with no recirculation pipe, and it's performed brilliantly both times. No issue at all with the mash getting stuck or the wort rising during the mashing process. So I've been really happy with that. I certainly recommend, yeah, spending, I think it's 15-20 bucks or something for the, yeah, for the solid fourth bottle, and get rid of that bloody recirculation pipe. But anyway, that's it's done. So cheers and a thumbs up for the patrons of the channel. If you're interested in Patreon, there's a link down the bottom. Hello there. Patreon helps the channel out, supports everything, keeps everything going, lets me play around and experiment. So yeah, if you're interested, hit the link. If you subscribe to the channel, thank you. If you're not, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, that way you get notified when anything comes along. If you've got any comments or any questions, stick them down the bottom. If you like what's going on, give me the thumbs up. But for me, I'm out of here. Little John, until I see you again on the next video, and we brewing beer, not drinking beer, and talking beer. This is obviously not beer, because I'm still on dry July. I'll stick a link down for that as well. Cheers all, good brewing.